In this episode, I'm going to be showing you 10 very useful Linux apps that you'll actually use. So the first one is Brave Browser. This is a very useful web browser that I use as my main web browser on my Mac, my PC, and on Linux. Now this web browser is very useful because it has a bunch of very cool features, like this awesome start screen that has a different photo every time you reload the page. It also has shortcuts to your most used sites, and you can go to those sites. Well, it's kind of obvious. It also comes with a built-in ad blocker, and it comes with rewards, which is a feature where you can watch privacy-respecting ads and earn tokens for it, and then support your favorite content creators on the internet with payments. Very useful feature. And it also has something called Tor, a VPN service, which makes it a lot more private. Now the note about this, I know this looks very ugly. I would have to switch this into classic mode to make it look better. And there is dark mode, however, it looks about as good as that did if we change it to dark mode there. So I recommend just choosing your system's dark mode. If we use classic and we get kind of the Chromium OS theme, dark mode looks better, but I'm just going to go ahead and keep it in light mode with my Linux Mint GTK theme here. It's an excellent browser and has nice shortcuts down here, and something that shows the number of ads and trackers that have been blocked. I have gone to very few sites in this Brave browser at the moment, but you can see, I just installed it, but you can see that it's really nice. The website is brave.com, and it's an awesome, very descriptive website all about Brave. Number 2 is MyPaint. It's a very useful painting program that allows you to paint on images and just paint. Now, it's probably best if you have a mouse or a Wacom tablet for that. But we can paint, which is very nice. You can change the colors and all that stuff, but there's definitely a learning curve in using this program, just like every other program pretty much for Linux. But I quite like this program, and do use it quite a bit. See, we can just draw. And that's what you all should do, subscribe, but I'll deal with that later. Anyway, let's discard that. Next up is LeafPad, a very nice and simple text editor. Now LeafPad is a very simple text editor. You can see how fast that opened. And I'm on a slow machine here. And it looks very nice and allows you just to take notes. And I really like this program just because of its simplicity and speed, and also it's just a really nice simple program, kind of a replacement for Notepad if you came from Windows, and TextEdit if you came from the Mac. It's an alternative to gedit, and gedit's a little bit more resource heavy and complicated. Anyway, next up is VirtualBox, which is a very useful program for virtualization of operating systems on Linux. So it allows you to basically create a Windows 7 or whatever inside of your Windows, inside of your Linux installation, and then you can run applications meant for Windows. However, they do not run very fast, so and you do have to like partition the amount of RAM you have on your computer for the Windows. So, and it's a little bit of a learning curve, but it is a very useful program once you learn how to use it. Next up is Timeshift Backup Tool, and this is a very nice backup tool. Let's go ahead and launch it. And it does require you typing your password to open the program, because you can see right here that I have 2 snapshots, and it allows me to see what's in the snapshots of my system, and it basically saves my entire system inside of a snapshot. And you can see it doesn't save user accounts or anything, but it is very useful. But it is a very useful program because you can see like all of my old files it backs up, and say you mess something up inside of a folder like bin or whatever, you can restore that and fix the problem. It's a very, like I said before, it's very useful. Next up is Balena Etcher, and this is more for people who don't use Linux Mint, because Linux Mint has something almost as good built in. Now, Balena Etcher is a very useful program for flashing OS images to USB drives. You might know of this when you originally installed your Linux installation, but if you have, like for example, if you wanted to flash my OS 10, like if you wanted to flash any image to a USB drive, you could boot from the USB drive and then it would work. It's a very awesome application, and it allows you to basically easier install Linux without having to burn a DVD. It's available for Mac, Windows, and Linux, basically every app here, except for LeafPad, which is not. Simple Screen Recorder, which is the screen recorder that I'm using. You can see right here, this is what it looks like. Now, this is of course just it's much easier to actually see this, use this right here. I'm not really going to show you, but it's really easy. It's really easy to use, but it has a lot of very nice features that can make screen recording really easy and useful. Next up is 8 Tomboy Notes, which is a program I use all the time. And they apparently got rid of Tomboy Notes and they've replaced it with something else, but I hate the replacement, which is Tomboy-NG, and so I still use the classic Tomboy Notes. No matter what I have to do to get to work, I still use it. But it's a very simple and easy to use program, and you can link notes together. But I basically use it to take notes. Like about I'm recording a getting into Linux video. And I'm finally getting around to doing this. And it saves automatically, which is very nice. Next up is Evolution Mail. It's a very nice email program. Evolution Mail right here. It's a very easy to use and nice email program. I currently do not have it set up, but we can see that we can set it up with Gmail and pretty much every other email program. It's very easy to use, has a nice UI, and is overall a great program. It also has like to-do lists. It has a note-taking feature that's synced. Tasks, it has a calendar, an address book, and of course mail, the simplest one. I'm not currently connected to any server, but that's basically Evolution Mail. It's a very, very useful program. Next up, because just Thunderbird is too cluttered and slow, Evolution took like 3 megabytes, 6 megabytes to download, while Thunderbird's like 45, but it has almost all the same features. Lastly, we have Visual Studio Code, which is a very, very useful coding program that is my coding program of choice. If we go ahead and it's very good for HTML, and it even has the best feature in anything, which is autosave. I really, really like autosave, but it's a very good program. I'm just going to call it untitled.html. And as you can see, once I name it something, you can see all of the syntax highlighting, and the syntax highlighting is very good and very useful. So if we run the file, you can see we get hello. But that's simple stuff, but Visual Studio Code is just a great program overall. I love it. And really now I just have to say I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, recommend this video to others, recommend this channel to others. I don't post very often, but when I do, it's a very good video, and thank you for watching.